The goblins are still shocked by Gobru's new appearance that their mouths are left wide open. Gobji is forced to speak out and talk about how impressive he is that Gobru has gone far and beyond in just the short time that he has been born. He even made his way to the northern part of the forest, which is considered the most dangerous, and comes back as an ogre, which is considered a very impressive feat. After the first few conversations have gone down, Gobru finds himself being followed around by Gubmi and the redhead. It is not only these two that are following Gobru, but the entirety of the girls. Gubmi is the most curious as she continues to pinch Gobru's leg. Gobru is ignoring this for now because he still doesn't know why the lady is acting that way. Gobe commends Gobru on the fact that he is now getting used to his new axe. Later on, the two human chefs come to tell Gobru that they are having a hard time with the chores. Gobru then promises to send them two goblin girls to help out, and the human girls thank him for this. Gobru is impressed with the fact that the girls are now used to life among the goblins, even though they are supposed to be mortal enemies. He says this to their face, causing the girls to blush really hard. Things start to get even worse as the redhead and Gobmi increase their energy to make life difficult for Gobru. Gobru visits the alchemists where he finds out that the lady has prepared several potions. Gobru smells one of the potions, and he is able to figure out that the potion is poison. Gobru is surprised that the lady is making poison, and she explains that she was doing this because she initially didn't trust the goblins. However, things have changed now, and she doesn't see the need to use it again. Even though Gobru has one arm, he is able to lift the girl off the ground and make her blush. This continues for hours, and he ends up playing with the girls more than accounted for. On day 36, Gobru finds it hard to spar with his comrades. This is because he easily injures them. Just one hit sends them to the ground, and even Gobkichi's armor can no longer resist Gobru's punches. Gobkichi is visibly exhausted, but when Gobru asks him if there is any problem, he says there is not. Just then, Gobkichi stands up and says he is heading into the forest to hunt. Shortly after this, Gobmi and Hubsato went out hunting together. The redhead is basically focusing on training herself to become stronger and more agile. Gob now has a new hobby, and that is the mining of the spirit stone. As for Gobru, he has taken up another task, which is the mending of clothes. Hobse mentions the fact that Gobru is not having any issues with the fact that he only has one arm. Gobru reveals that the slime he once ate is his helping stone. He is able to manipulate the slime nature and make it seem like he still has another arm. Hobse even seems to be a troublemaker, as she refuses to give Gobru his book back. On the 37th day, Gobru is having his now peaceful life when Gob comes running over for help. Gob is carrying a carbuncle covered in red liquid in her hands. The first thing to come to Gobru's mind is to heal the little guy, and this is what he does. Since she has lost lots of blood, Gobru decides to seek further help from the alchemist to prevent the creature from dying. Soon afterward, the carbuncle wakes up trying to figure out where she is. After some brief explanation, the carbuncle realizes that she is not in danger and decides to open up. She thanks the lot for saving her even though she is a stranger. She then introduces herself as Returner and explains that she was attacked by humans not long ago. It appears that the gem on Returner's head is worth a lot and can even go for 1 billion gold. Gobru realizes that they are after her because of this treasure, and this spells trouble. Returner bows down to Gobru and his kin, asking them to help her chase the adventurers away. Returner says she has little time left to spend in this world. Apparently, Returner is an artificial carbuncle that was created by a legendary mage with the name Velvet. Returner is also the one who protects her master's treasury. When the humans came to attack, the core that kept her alive was damaged pretty badly, and this is the reason she doesn't have long to live. In addition, Velvet's treasury is filled with lots of legendary items that Velvet spent his entire lifetime collecting. Returner lets Gobru know that her master hates humans and would rather leave the treasury to the goblins instead. When Gobru is asked what he wants to do, he tells the girls to gather everyone because he has plans to head to the treasury. To avoid going unarmed, he requested to take the spirit stone knife that Gob made the other day. He assumes that this is going to create enough scare in the adventurers' minds. He assures the human girls that he is not going there to kill the humans, but to chase them off. However, if they refuse to go away, he will be forced to do it the hard way. Once this is settled, Gobru puts on the coat he just made and goes through the hole that Gob opened up. He tells Gobkichi and the others to hide themselves while he tries to negotiate with the humans. He soon runs into the adventurers, and they don't even waste time before coming after Gobru. Gobru easily sees through the attacker's invisibility to stop him. Gobru starts to scold the humans for robbing the treasury and also attacking the owner of the home. He tries reasoning with them, but the adventurers don't seem to want peace. Violence is what they are, after no matter what Gobru tries to say. They start attacking Gobru, but he considers all of their attacks very weak, even with the fact that they have leveled up. Just then, the human mage hits Gobru with a fatal attack that should end him. This is not enough to terminate Gobru, but it sure made him mad. He decides to teach them a lesson, and the rest of the goblins show themselves from where they have been hiding. Gobru beats them up and takes everything that belongs to the adventurers, everything he laid his hand on. He eats just so he can gain the ability that comes with it. One of the things he got was a magic box that could hold lots of items. Once this is settled, Returner takes them to where her master is. Velvet is sitting on his chair, but appears to be in the spirit. Returner tells Gobru that there are a lot of spirit stones in the treasury, and they can have all of these to themselves. After she has said this, Returner runs out of time and finally passes on. The jewel on her head falls to Gobru's hand as she dies. He consumes the gem, and this gives him the Golden Order ability. After they are done mourning Returner, they take everything in the treasury, and the item box is enough to contain it. Gobru doesn't want to leave Velvet's body like that, and he ends up cremating it. Just then, a piece of hand armor falls from the corpse. He puts on this object, and it immediately fuses with his left arm to give him the arm that he doesn't have again. The arm basically works like a normal arm would, and even better. As they leave the vault, they seal it up, and Gobru tells everyone that it is party time. On day 39, Gobru analyzes and sorts out all the items that they got from the treasury. He is able to make 3 legendary items from the inventory. The villagers later end up cooking a pot of delicious bear soup after everything has been sorted. On the 40th day, Gobru makes sure to get the villagers' rank up. He doesn't need to rank, so he is excluded from the equation. With everything that he has seen, he can proudly say they are now strong enough to form a mercenary company. The next day, he heads into the forest in search of unseen prey. The first he comes across is a golden spider, and after he eats this, it turns his webs into golden webs. This seems funny to him, and even teases the addition of turning into a fashion designer. After this, he finds a red deer with antlers like quartz. He continues wandering the forest until he comes across a large tree with the sunlight shining directly on it. This tree ends up causing him a problem. Apparently, there are creatures in this world called dryads, and they reside in the trees. Gobji once told him that the dryads seduce males of intelligent races and prey on them for nutrients. There are only female dryads, and this is the reason a male should be careful not to run into them. Before Gobru can even think about anything, one of the dryads has made her way to Gobru's front. She starts to seduce him, and even though Gobru wants to resist, he feels everything hitting him so badly. He tries so hard to resist but can't, and ends up making out with the dryad. This is the highest level of libido he has hit in his life. He is able to make out with the dryad for 5 hours before finally stopping. Once they are done, the dryad tells her to come visit again, anytime. Even though Gobru doesn't want to go into the specifics, he has to say the time with the dryad is exceptionally awesome. Gobru finds a lake with a waterfall and decides to wash off the sweat and the other dirt on his body. He is busy washing off when he finds himself surrounded by a bunch of lizard men. He easily takes them out, and after consuming them, he is granted the ability to understand the lizard men's language. After this, he runs into a bull that he absolutely destroys, using his new arm. The next day, which is the 42nd day, the village finds out that 2 goblins actually have the affinity of becoming mages. These 2 were immediately transferred to Hobsei's team, thus upgrading her from being a one-man army. On day 43, Gobru notices that Gobmi is angry at him, and he doesn't know why this is. He decides to ask around so he can know if he has offended the girl, but none of the others seem to be able to give him an answer. In fact, all the girls in the family are acting crazy toward him, and he decides to talk to the alchemist about his predicament.